we talked about defining sin. Okay? Defining sin. And it was an interesting topic from Jeremiah 14, verse 1 to 22. Defining sin. And the subtopic here is sinfulness and the economy. Sinfulness and the economy. Now, this is a time in Israel when the economy was actually in trouble. Okay? We looked at that. The economy was in trouble. There was no rain. Okay? And of course, in those days, it's not like today where there are improved methods. In those days, once rain does not come, of course, you are in trouble. The whole economy will be affected. Even today, it's still the same thing. But today we have improved methods. So there are different ways of harvesting water from different places and still doing what we want to do. But it was a terrible time. The rains were not coming. Grass will not grow. Animals will not get to feed. So if you want to even hunt the animals, they are dying in mass. Byproducts of animals cannot be harvested like milk and all those other things. So people cannot grow food. Okay, let's go on. Next slide. Okay, so conflict is often a direct result of the struggle for scarce resources due to what? Famine. Okay, famine results in conflict because there are scarce resources, and this was what could have happened at that time. And in our modern world, it's the same thing. Some of these things can be attributed to God's favor. Okay? And this is what we want to look at. Is there much difference between attributing some of these economic challenges to God or maybe just to natural events? Is there much difference? Let's go ahead. Okay? In those days, of course, the flood was attributed to the disfavor of God. And so the world was destroyed in the flood. The destruction of Sodom and Gomorrah was attributed to the disfavor of God. And we will look at a similar event happening in much modern times during the Roman era. So Sodom and Gomorrah were destroyed by some kind of hail, storm, maybe a volcanic ash eruption, okay? Or some archaeologists have checked it and have said when they looked at the site, there was an old site for that, but they found another site where they said it looked like an atomic bomb was thrown in that place. So even in those days, we know that Yahweh, the God of Israel, is known to have authority over all natural phenomena. But also we know that human beings can affect such things, even from the Bible. So it's not as if because we can affect the modern, our climate in our time today, doesn't mean that the people of those days could not also affect their own climate. Okay? Noah was one who was saved during the flood and his family. Abraham also affected what happened in Sodom and Gomorrah. Okay? Elijah prayed and rain returned. So let's continue. So people in the Bible tells us that people can also affect the outcome of these things. Not today we affect it. They can throw some chemicals in the sky and then they will bring rain. Okay? I told you about artificial clouds, okay? You can create an artificial cloud to cool the place down and all that. So it's not too different. Okay? Human beings will pray to God then, will accept his revelation, and will build the ark. Okay? Abraham will also intercede for somebody like Lot, and Lot was told by some kind of weather forecast, angelic weather forecast, okay, that Sodom and Gomorrah will be destroyed. And he left. Today, if a flood is happening, they will do flood warning, in advanced countries. Okay, flood warning, and people will run away. So what is really the difference? This is just the thing. How does, remember our topic, okay? Sinfulness and the economy. If sin affects how God will handle our economy, okay? In those days, what is the difference today? That's the question. What is the difference today? And there are some also negative situations where, when Moses performed miracles, the magicians also replicated. Okay? Sennacherib, king of Assyria, sacrificed his son. Okay? And there was contention against Israel. Spiritual things are very, very contentious. And we see some of the things going on in our society today also. Next slide. So this is an example of what may have happened in Sodom and Gomorrah. Okay? It happened again. And it also happened like 2 years back in, I think, was it Indonesia or so, where a whole village was covered with volcano. And this is archaeological evidence of what happened in Pompeii some hundreds of years ago, okay? Maybe close to 1,000 or more years ago. In Pompeii, the whole town was destroyed. Hundreds and hundreds of its citizens were killed. And so, Sodom and Gomorrah, what the Bible records about Sodom and Gomorrah is not really a strange thing, okay? It happened. Next slide. And you see part of the pictures of Pompeii. This is gotten from YouTube. The ABC Facts 101 on YouTube, okay? You can go there and look at it, okay? And you see what they discovered in Pompeii. Next slide. You see how modern, I keep on telling us how modern they were, okay? The modern world came out from the ashes of the Roman Empire, okay? You see how modern they were. You look at this house, you think, okay, this is something in the 21st century. Next slide. So look at it here. This is Pompeii. So let's go ahead. So this event gives a scientific explanation of the biblical events. Okay? But what we know is that science still falls victim of natural phenomena. Okay? If not, we won't be talking about climate change. Okay? We'll not be talking about that. So let's go. You see what happened in Dubai just last week or so. Last 2 weeks, sorry. This is what happened in Dubai. Flood. Dubai, Dubai is a picture of Dubai. Okay, the marina in Dubai. There was so much flood. Okay? So much flood. So God reveals himself in natural events. And we see that Genesis chapter 1, verse 1 to 31. You can look at that. We see the terraforming of the world, okay? Terraforming of the world, very, very accurately described terraforming of the world in Genesis chapter 1. Okay? See in Genesis chapter 18 and 19 the story of Sodom and Gomorrah. Okay? Yearly, people die in the US and in Europe due to wildfires, blizzards, floods, due to failure of technology. Okay? Or the unavailability of technology to stop such. Okay? So, mysterious outbreaks of pandemics. Next slide. Mysterious outbreaks of pandemics. So, however you look at it, even though humanity has been able to improve significantly, its standard of living is very high. Is that not? It's very high these days. We enjoy certain privileges life more than the people of old used to. Okay? But the commensurate increase in population and sinfulness seems to push back those gains somehow. Okay? In the number of pandemics, in the even the consistent natural disasters that still happen. So how can you really say, is it God really punishing the people? Or, okay, remember the timing. Okay? Is it God really punishing the people? Or are we making progress in proving, like some scientists who say that God is not involved in these things? Okay? So let's do it. One of the things we see is that humans, and nature itself has a way of quickly outgrowing the technology that we have. You see, social media came, it was very popular, people are outgrowing it, okay? And it's a very contentious technology. Crypto is in trouble because climate change is supposed to help with excesses, okay? Like climate change, but it's not. It consumes so much energy to just run that system called the cryptocurrency. Electric cars have been there for a long, long time. This is the time where we are thinking that the technology has matured, almost matured. But still, it's so difficult to get these things online. Aviation has matured a long time ago too. But humanity is too, in the area of aviation, humanity has not really caught up with aviation, okay? Aviation has matured a long time ago, but we don't have the resources, okay, to patronize the aviation sector. So this is a very, very interesting discovery, okay? We don't have the resources to patronize the aviation sector effectively. Phones and computers have too many dormant uses. Humans don't want, okay? Some people are getting tired of their smartphones already. Going back to the older phones. Computers have reduced in patronage, okay? So, what is happening? Climate change is a constant threat. Next. These are the sectors that are affected. Many technologies that are making a comeback today were invented in the 60s, the 70s, and the 80s. Okay? So we find that actually what we think we have achieved it looks like it has been there all along. If you permit me to say that, okay? Shipping was invented since the time of Noah. It is one of the oldest technologies, okay? But see how long before it matured. I think when we know that it matured was when the Titanic sank. Okay? A disaster. That's when we know that, okay, something is happening there. The wheel, okay, was manufactured one of the oldest technologies, okay? But see how long it took for us to develop the car. So some of these things are things we would have discovered anyway because they were always there. Okay? So the issue is what has changed. A lot of the great technologies, even Neuralink, what Elon Musk is always saying he's trying to develop, okay, was discovered a long time ago. That the brain can interface, okay, with certain sensors and get us to communicate, okay, with electronic devices, okay? It has been discovered a long time ago, including electric cars, okay? So this is the issue. So human civilization has to continuously adjust to avert social, psychological, and economic problems, okay? So you see that road, that is a 1st century road. Are you getting? Roman, at least 3rd century. Okay? Roman road. Today in your village, do you have this kind of road? Maybe if some of us were lucky. Are you getting? This 3rd century first. Next slide. You see, even immorality, okay? Look at that. That is from the Roman world during the time of Christ. Pause it. Let's stop it.